Hello everybody, welcome to this video. I hope you're all doing well. It's officially June 2021. It is Pride Month. I hope you're all very happy. I hope you're proud of yourselves, regardless of your age, how you identify. I hope you feel very happy and very accepted. Now the video is going to take a dark and sinister tone, because there's a double meaning to Pride. I hope you are proud of yourselves, and I hope you're proud of yourselves, because today I'm selling out. The fucking heights this channel used to be. The fucking views. And now look at me. Scraping. Scrimping, scraping, saving. Do you know one thing I am proud of? I'm proud of this video. I've done a lot of things on this channel I'm proud of. A lot of things recently, a lot of the hard work into those little documentaries. But in terms of editing, in terms of comedic style, that video I'm really proud of. And the comments do show it. In fact, I'll read a couple out to you now. Overwhelmingly positive. I mean, Sword King Master 00 says... Sword King Master 00 says Ben Simmons, whoever that is, Ben Simmons is anarchy and a lousy bloody wanker. I can't do this. Angelina said, holy shit, you look like Paul McCartney. String Bean there, keeping it on topic. This is the snowflake generation who think nothing about spending £1,000 on a fucking mobile phone every couple of years, plus having to spend exorbitant monthly fees on a contract just to make the thing usable, then stick crappy earbuds in their phones and listen to crappy MP3s. I could go on, but that'll do for now. Yeah, you're right there, String Bean, you can sit down now. Onte de Fission says, control the volume, please. Nah. Daniel King there, a bit of a young posh Carl Pilkington vibe going on.
Treating me like a twat.
So yeah, went down very well, that video did, 3 years ago, and here I am repeating the format for views. Just call me toilet paper because I am fucking sold out. Seriously though, yeah, that video, I've recently watched it again just because I'm a fucking narcissist. And I'm still really proud of it. A lot of the older videos I'll rewatch and I'm a little bit ugh, but that one in particular, I don't know why, and the other one I did like, why I do like collecting vinyl records stands out. It's just, I don't know, I just really like them. And now I've sort of shifted to collecting movies, I thought, let's exploit that. So yeah, I've made a list, I've made 2 lists, both on the back of this instruction manual for our electric oven. 10 reasons why I do like collecting movies on Blu-ray, 10 reasons why I don't like collecting movies on Blu-ray. There's hopefully going to be 2 videos of this, the first being this one of 10 reasons why I don't like collecting movies on Blu-ray. The second video, 10 reasons why I do like collecting movies on Blu-ray. As I said with the other video, if you've watched it, there might be a couple of things I mentioned in here that you identify with. Please, for God's sake, don't take it seriously. This is just meant as a little bit of fun. I'm trying to pass some time here, and I thought this would be a nice little idea to do. So, let's crack on with the list.
But what I want to do is do you some serious damage.
The first reason I don't like collecting movies on Blu-ray is re-releases. Now, when I first started collecting a couple of years ago, I was, what's that phrase Mother Teresa used? A proper fucking normie. Like, I didn't really know what was a good release, what was a bad release. I basically just went on the logo on the side. Like, if it was Arrow, I thought it must have been the best release. Not the best thing to go by, but nevertheless, the first release of the movie Cat o' Nine Tails I got looked something like this. Which was just a standard edition release in a standard case. That was until I realised that I could upgrade to the limited edition box set, which came with, I think, an extra disc, a poster and a booklet, which appealed to me because I do like reading and things like that. So I spent a fair amount of money upgrading to this. And then...
I tell you, I've just had a gutful. Stupid fucking off. I swear, it's absolutely driving me mad.
Suddenly the cunt's out in 4K UHD, which of course I'll have to grab, but that means that'll be the 3rd time I've had this film. Same story with the bird with the crystal plumage. I started with the standard edition, thought I was clever upgrading to the limited edition, then a couple of months later there they are again, undermining me. Now don't get me wrong, it's really good that they're obviously trying to give these movies the best possible release they can, constantly improving the special features, the picture quality, but from the standpoint of someone who's buying them, speaking personally, I really find it quite frustrating when you, just as you think you've got the best possible release, something else will come out and you've constantly got to weigh up which you want, which you don't, the price, whether you can afford it. I mean, I definitely can't afford the 4K UHD box sets. I'll obviously buy them and cripple myself, and that's that's the reason behind why I don't like re-releases.
If you don't know how to cook Mega Rings noodles, then you're obviously fucking brain dead and you should give up now.
The second reason is impulsive collecting, which is something I never thought I'd be that bothered about. The thing I've got to show off here is this lovely present from Jack Holman. Now, I'm not on about this movie in particular, this is something that I've come to feel towards Vinegar Syndrome in general, although I genuinely don't think it applies to this movie. So, slipcovers. I always thought I'm buying the movies, I don't give a shit about the packaging, and I've recently acquired a couple of Vinegar Syndrome releases. They haven't arrived yet, I've just ordered them in the sale. And then I saw the slipcovers, I thought, oh, they're quite nice slipcovers they are. Just double check to see if there's anything different with it. No, disc and everything's exactly the same. The only difference is the slipcover, which improves the viewing experience in no way whatsoever. Yeah, I need that. It annoys me because I'm becoming the one thing I always promised I never would become, which is like a hardcore collector where I had to have every perfect edition of everything. I always thought, get the movies, it was exactly the same with my vinyl. I thought, just get any copy of any album, it doesn't matter as long as it sounds good. I started like that, I genuinely did. I was a little innocent boy, and I thought, you know, as long as I've got the movies there to watch and they look pretty, that's all that matters. Then I started looking at special features and I thought, oh, that release has got a little bit more, I'll have to shed out like 20 fucking quid shipping on that one. And then they started doing slip covers, which again, doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. But I will be upgrading.
I'm getting the word nonce.
The third reason is snobs. Now this goes with pretty much any hobby, I'm pretty sure. I mentioned this in the other video about the records. People who just so far up their own arse. My example I'm going to show off is this lovely box set, which I'll never get tired of showing off, the Dawn of the Dead Second Sight box set. Now, the snobs among you will realise the problem with this box set. The problem with this box set is it's Blu-ray, not 4K UHD. I think it would have a little thing there that said 4K UHD. Now, as I said, generally, picture quality, not that fussed on. As long as it looks nice, this looks absolutely perfect to me. I'll be honest, DVD to Blu-ray, I can see a huge difference. Blu-ray to 4K UHD, it depends on the release. I really wasn't that fussed. I thought 10 quid difference was a little bit much to pay just for picture quality, so I went for the standard Blu-ray edition. I made a video on it. Most of the comments were absolutely delightful. People going, what a lovely set, what a lovely video, what a strapping young man. And some of the comments made a point of commenting that they've got the better box set because they've got a 4K ultra high definition box set, which makes me giggle. Now I think I paid £70 for that box set. If you watch my video on it, you'll well, I mean, even if you vaguely know about that box set, that's absolutely fantastic value for what you get in it. And I think the 4K UHD was £10 more, so still £80 I think is more than reasonable for what you get in the set. My problem was that there's £10 difference between the two sets, and the only difference was 4K or 4K UHD, which to me isn't worth £10, so I opted for the lower quality one. I say lower quality, it still looks fantastic. But then you get these people who I can assume are degenerates, social outcasts who'll sit maybe a few centimetres away from the screen and examine every pixel to make sure that everything's in the right place. And they'll sort of masturbate over, you know, seeing things that you necessarily shouldn't see. Like, I know in this set, I've seen a couple of the special effects where I've seen, like, you know, oh, a bit of fishing wires pulled that bit of thing away, or, you know, in a DVD, didn't see that in 4K, yeah, you can see it. They can see it more, so the film looks tackier. Of course, it doesn't look tackier, that's just me being pedantic. I'll always remember the time I was stuck behind someone in a queue in HMV who was returning a box set of Game of Thrones because it apparently had a line across the picture. And they had the scene up on the TV behind them, and the shop assistant was like, and I was like, and the bloke was like, it's there, can't you see it? And that's the moment I thought, you know what, I'm not turning at that, I'm not doing that, I'm going nowhere near that, I'm avoiding it like the fucking plague.
In the past, circa 1983, I developed a fairly robust dislike for the gay community. But that was before I met Dale Winton.
Now, number 4 is damage. Again, I think I mentioned this in my other video. Superficial damage. I don't even necessarily mean scratched discs that cause it to freeze or anything like that. I just mean superficial damage to the box, which has happened in transit or maybe at the factory. The example I'm going to use is this lovely set from Severin of Umberto Lenzi and Carol Baker's Jarly. 4 really, really good films in this set. Absolutely gorgeous artwork on it, as you can see. But one thing that you will notice is that there, the little dent in the corner. Now I'm sure a lot of people are going, yeah, it's just a dent, which is fair enough, but for the few people who get where I'm coming from, I'm going to make your heart fall out of your arse. Are you ready? Now again, I get it, it doesn't actually affect the films at all. Everything inside the box set is absolutely fine. But I did weep a little bit, because it would be on the side that pokes out on the shelf, so I've had to put it back to front, and now I have to put it like that on the shelf, so I can't look at that. Because although I've got many releases that I'm absolutely enamoured with, the only thing I'd see on my shelf is that little fucking dent there. I'm not bothered enough to go on Facebook forums and complain about it, because Christ alone knows people who do that are a different breed. But nevertheless, it does annoy me when you spend a lot of money on something and it turns up like that. Not the fault of the people who made it, the fault of, well, someone, probably the postman. I hope you're proud of yourself, bitch.
Did your mum's heroin habit during pregnancy affect your coordination?
Number 5 is the cost of collecting Blu-rays. Now, this sort of only applies to if you are into your boutique releases and stuff like that, which I kind of am. And the example I've got to show off is this lovely set of Videodrome from David Cronenberg. This is the Arrow release, the special edition, the limited edition rather. Now this, don't get me wrong, complete value for money, no qualms in letting you know that I paid £70 for this, which, I mean, collectors will agree, it's fair, you know, it's in mint condition, it's reasonable for the price it normally goes for. You get the film in here, you get a book, you get some early snippets of David Cronenberg's work, you get loads of special features, 70 quid. At the same time though, 70 quid on one film, it does start to sink in after you've clicked purchase. I saw this on eBay, I clicked on checkout, I was popping me details in, high as a kite, and then I clicked on purchase, and then I felt like, I don't want to be crass. Do you know when you had a wank, and you sort of, you look down and you look at what you've done, and you sort of, the bit of sick comes up in the back of your mouth. Oh, not that, it's a bit, that was it. That was as good as it's going to get. It felt a little bit like that. Now don't get me wrong, when it came in the post, I was really, really thrilled with it. It is value for money in my opinion. I really, really like this little set. Goes for a lot of the other things I've spent a lot of money on as well. It just does feel a little bit strange sometimes, you know, when you think I've just spent 70 quid on one film where there's a DVD of it for £3.50 in CEX. But yeah, I mean, it's entirely subjective. I think this is value for money. I'm sure there's a lot of people who think I'm absolutely wasting my time collecting stuff like this. It's subjective, but it's just something worth mentioning that if you're going to get into Blu-ray collecting and you want your boutique special releases, yeah, your purse is going to be violated.
I'm fucking outside.
Now the next thing is scalpers. Again, sort of applies to anything you collect really, but if there's something that's a limited edition that goes out of stock really quickly, people will buy it just to sell it on at an extortionate price. This might not be the best example, but it's an example I'm going to use. This Volume 1 Hammer box set from Powerhouse Films understandably went out of stock relatively quickly because it's a fucking fantastic set, as they all are. I can imagine the others going the same way as this, frankly. But 6,000 copies this is limited to. If it's anything, I think this came out before I was aware that it came out, which sounds like a strange sentence to say. I'm pretty sure this will have priced around 45 quid when it first came out from the website, and thanks to these delightful people you could be expected to pay a touch more for it now. Now again, it sort of goes back to a couple of things I've said where realistically I think that's 45 quid is very good value, but it does get beyond a joke when you see triple figures for things that retailed at, you know, less than half of that. And you know what, I think it's almost fair enough if someone has maybe bought it for themselves and they haven't liked it, or they've started to sell on part of their collection and they think, you know what, if it's going at that price, I'm going to sell it at that price. That I get a little bit, but it's the people who do it on purpose. It's the people who buy concert tickets and then sell them on afterwards. It's people who buy records and sell them on afterwards, you know, on Record Store Day. It's, there's a word for them, and the word is cut.
Everybody, please! I am not an octopus!
Problem discs. Yeah, this has become more and more of an issue I've found lately, and I hope other people are picking up on it as well. The example I'm going to use is Demons from Arrow, their most recent release. No doubt will be a much nicer one in a few months' time. Yeah, so they released this, and then they went, oops, there's a problem with one of the discs, so we're sending out replacement discs. And, you know, I get it. I get that things can slip them by in the process of making them. I get that mistakes happen, you know. But it just seems to be becoming so common now that they'll be having to send out replacement discs, and then things go wrong with the replacement disc. I was sent like 3 replacement discs for one film. One of them was 4K UHD, which I obviously kept because I only paid for the standard Blu-ray. And then you've got people who said, "Oh, I paid for the 4K and only got the standard," and things like that. And it's just, I don't want to be having a go at people who make these lovely box sets because the hard work is really appreciated. But it's just a little bit irritating when you pay for a product and you get it, and then they're constantly having to tinker about and send new stuff out. And, it happened with the Friday the 13th box set. It's happened with another one of Arrow's recent releases. It happened with Indicator with their Norma J. Warren box set. I know the Inseminoid disc was a little bit funny. Don't get me wrong, it's very good of them to come forward and say, yeah, we fucked up, here's a replacement disc. It's just annoying. And at this point in the list I was struggling, so I thought I'd just put that down. No disrespect to anybody, but it just does get on my tits.
You're a classic example of the inverse ratio between the size of the mouth and the size of the brain.
Now, I say I was struggling. This is probably the one at the minute that's pissing me off the most. It's when companies do re-releases, but it's not an upgrade, it's just a release of the same thing again, which, people can say, oh, well, what if people didn't pick it up the first time, which is fair enough, but I did, because I'm on the fucking ball, hun. But then I find myself constantly having to trade old things in and get new stuff, and it's like a constant cycle, which I get is part of the fun of collecting, but it becomes not fun when it's happening all the fucking time. The example I'm going to use is Arrow Video. Again, I'm looking at you. So, 3 films of Sergio Martino's. I'm going to touch on here. I've got this special edition of Suspicious Death of a Minor. I've got this special edition Case of the Scorpion's Tail. And then I've got Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key in this Black Cats box set. Now, they've recently gone and announced a Sergio Martino box set, which looks like this. It contains those 3 films, no different. As far as I can tell, there's no different special features, there's no upgrade on picture quality, it's just the same boxes put inside a different box set, which begs the question, why? Because collectors will buy that. Arrow know this, companies know that collectors will buy that, and it does get to feeling a little bit exploitative. Because again, I'll try not to be bothered, but I sort of want that box set, even though I've already got the 3 films, one of which is in another box set, which I don't want to get rid of, so I'll end up owning the film twice. I just think there's so many fantastic releases and fantastic films that deserve more than what they've got, and I know there's problems with rights and there's problems with, but there just never seemed to be a shortage before, and all of a sudden it seems that companies are doing this thing where they're constantly re-releasing the same films, different companies releasing films that other companies have released in better ways, and again, the same boxes being put out over and over and over again, it becomes cloying. So in summary, I'm going to try not to buy that Sergio Martino box set, but if you watch one of my update videos, it'll probably be fucking in there, because I've got no self-control.
There's my letter of resignation, and there's some flowers for my dead dog. Why don't you stick those up your fat ass?
Number 9 is bulked out special features. Now this goes both ways. I'm going to talk about bulked out special features because that annoys me a little bit more. It's where you look on the back and you'll see a massive paragraph of special features and you think, yes. And then you realise that there's like subtitles, remastered audio, remastered soundtrack, and you think, are they special features or is that just part of the package of what you've released? Reversible artwork isn't a special feature. A trailer I'll let you get away with, but that's borderline. It's almost like there's certain stuff you expect on a disc that they're trying to sell to you as a special feature. Special features, audio commentaries, there's documentaries, there's interviews, there's Q&A sessions, things like that. To me, are special features. It's when they bulk it out on the back almost to make it look like there's more than there is. That annoys me. And this next thing doesn't necessarily annoy me, it just makes me giggle a little bit. It sort of goes the other way. You get boutique labels putting out movies with bonus features that look like this. I'll read them to you. High definition 1080p Blu-ray presentation of the film. That's not a special feature, that's what we've bought it for. Newly created English subtitles. Reversible sleeve with alternative original title Mysteria artwork. Thus concludes the special features. Now it just sort of depends on the release. A lot of films, I get it, if they're more obscure it's harder to obtain stuff. I mean, they couldn't even get a trailer for this one. I'm sure they tried. Oh, hun. Yeah. But it's sort of, yeah, it's more the overbulking that annoys me. This just makes me giggle a little bit.
fuck's sake!
And reason number 10 is being compelled to buy shite films. Now, I'm not looking at anyone in particular, Vinegar Syndrome, but... Now again, it sort of goes back to being subjective, I get that, because what is another man's gold is another man's myrrh. But some films, you know, some films deserve special treatment. And then you get Doom Asylum. I'm so sorry, Doom Asylum. I think subjectiveness goes up to a point. I mean, I'm sure everyone can agree that certain films are made better than other films. Enjoyment-wise, of course, it is subjective, but the consensus is that a lot of movies that are getting released by certain labels aren't the best. I'm holding this up because it was the first bad movie that I saw on my shelf. I mean, no, you know, disrespect to anyone involved in the making or releasing of this. I enjoyed it for what it was. So I shouldn't really complain, but I'm gonna because I needed a 10th thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm pointing more at Vinegar Syndrome because I look at the films that they've released, a lot of them anyway, a lot of them are fantastic. But some of them, I look at the IMDb and I think, you know, I really do not want to spend money on that. Especially living in the UK, I've got to spend like $17 on shipping to get it fucking over here. And then I look at my shelf and my shelf's like, fill me, well, might be having inappropriate thoughts about the furniture there, to be fair. But, you know, it's the thing of leaving a gap. It's like when they number stuff, you know, when it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and you think, yeah, I don't really want 5, but I need it to fill the gap. That's becoming me. Again, unhappy about it. My psychology is going downhill very quickly because of things like this. Some films I buy, I watch, I think, not great. Some films I think, not great, and then buy. It's a weird sort of cycle you get yourself into. It's like in S&M films, you know, when someone's being whipped or something and they have to pretend not to like it and they're like, oh, please, stop. That's sometimes how I feel. I feel like I've been ball gagged and sort of put in this stock, and these companies are just there with a brand and the logo on the brand, you know, and they like got it in the hot coals and I'm going, please stop, and then they put it on my ass and it's really painful. I need to stop. So yeah, that's I really don't know how that video went. I sort of just sat and mumbled for an hour. That's that video out of the way. I hope you weren't offended. If you were, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll probably do another video about the other list I've made of 10 reasons why I do like collecting them. I just felt like being a little bit nihilistic today and, you know, being a bit negative for a change. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. It probably isn't as good as the other one, which goes with the territory, doesn't it? Sequels are never as good. But yeah, let me know if you agree with any of the things I've said. If you disagree, please leave hate comments because we love that. And I will see you again very shortly. Goodbye.